Oh man, I remember when Netflix came out, all the other movie nerds and I said no, like, fees if I don't turn it back in on time, and because it came in the mail, it was a little more anonymous. I remember the first movie I got from Netflix was Waking Ned Divine on DVD. I only had it on VHS, and that was a really special day. And from then on, I used those. It was weird because the envelopes weren't like purely plastic. They kind of felt like old paper, and you'd put it back in, and you'd mail them back. I found out after a couple weeks you could put two of them in the same. You mail it back, and if you didn't update your queue on a regular basis, it was kind of like a surprise birthday party every time you opened the mailbox, because you didn't know what you were going to get. Is it going to be The Little Mermaid? Is it Pulp Fiction? You don't know! And then the word came out that Netflix was struggling, and they were trying to figure out if Blockbuster would buy them, and we all thought, well, that's too bad, because this was such a great service. I moved out to Chicago, and in Chicago, there were plenty of places to rent videos from, but you had to, like, it was a hike. You had to get on a bus, and then you had to get on a train to get there. There was a lot of people. The density was greater, but Netflix always came through. If you wanted to watch Season 3, Disc 2 of Friends, they had it for you. They had everything that you could ever possibly want. And then Netflix killed all the video stores. When I worked at a video store locally, one of the big things was, we're going to compete with Netflix. How are we going to do that? We're going to allow people to mail their videos back to us. It was the biggest disaster of all time, because you had to look at the postmark date for when it came back, because we were going to charge late fees. We had to give them an envelope that was stamped when it went out. People would lose the disc. They send us back the wrong one. We weren't prepared. And then when Netflix said we're going to get into streaming, we all thought, you're crazy. You've already made the perfect model. And now, as we say goodbye to discs in the mail, what I really want to know is, where can I go to buy all of those discs? Because you've got a lot of inventory that I'd like to get my hands on. Especially that Waking Ned Divine DVD. We're not used to paying for subscription services at that point. So when it came out and it was $4.99 unlimited, which meant as long as your postal service worked in a fast manner, you could watch like 7 or 8 DVDs in a month for one flat fee. Now, most people were not up to the cut to be able to get a movie in the mail, watch it that night, get it back in the mail the next day. So folks ended up with things like My Little Pony the movie sitting on top of their DVD player for 3 months. And that's the beauty of the Netflix business model, is that they were making money for you holding on to something that either you'd already watched, or by the time you said, oh, I don't want to watch this anymore, and you get it done. It was so great. And then you could kind of judge other people a little bit too by finding out what was their Netflix that they had sitting on their DVD player. You look at it and you go like, oh, One Night at McCool's, huh? You want a little Danny DeVito fix? I see how it goes. We used to trade our rentals with each other too, and say like, listen, I watched Scream, and you've got Friday the 13th Part 4, so we'll trade, and then just make sure to pop this in the mail. And then your buddy who didn't pop it in the mail, they were dead to you. So I am one of the last customers who still has a disc edition. So I know a lot of people who only got a Netflix subscription when it came to streaming, because they wanted to watch stuff on streaming. Don't forget, they were the first company to do that on a massive scale. They were the first direct to you in your home company that also said, we're going to spend billions of dollars making new content. Stranger Things. And so this company, when it made a choice to say, listen, we're going to carry all of this stuff, got a ton of new subscribers. And unfortunately, they found out that the money is really in streaming, and it's not necessarily in sending out discs for people to watch La Maison de ma Mère, because we can't get a US release, so they've got a Canadian release of it that they can ship out to people like me. So I will be sad to know that my subscription is now going to change to no longer include a disc delivery by mail. And also, shout out to the US Postal Service. They've been a great partner this whole time.
There's a better way to rent movies. As many as you want for only $17.99 a month, and no late fees. Go to Netflix.com, make a list of the movies you want to see, and in about 1 business day, you'll get 3 DVDs. Keep them as long as you want, without late fees. Then when you're done, look, prepaid envelopes. Return one, and they'll send you another movie from your list It's easy.
Netflix. All the movies you want, only $17.99 a month and no late fees.